Hey everyone, I recently did a review of the new movie Scream 7, but it made me think about the original and really want to go back and talk about that one as well. So check it out. Scream 1. It came out on December 20th, 1996. Wouldn't have called it a Christmas movie, but sometimes stuff gets released at weird times. The plot follows this group of teenagers in a small town in California called Woodsboro. A mass killer, given the moniker of Ghostface, begins murdering high school students. A group of friends have to use their knowledge of horror movies to attempt to unmask the killer. I gave this movie a 6 out of 10. I will say this, the one thing that I didn't think that they did that much with in this movie was lighting. It felt pretty basic. Nothing was really grandiose, and I didn't really feel like they were doing anything super cool with it. Not like they've done in some of the other Scream movies, where the lighting was next level. However, the music in this movie is great. Oh my gosh, it's so sinister. Don't Fear the Reaper is featured, which is one of my favorite songs of all time, and I just love the music in this movie. It's really, really good. But it's a 90s movie, and the 90s is kind of my music. So it's my people kind of going through this. I wonder if somebody 20 years my junior would say the same about the music, because music can be very generational, and kind of the music of your youth speaks to you and your generation more so than any other generation. And I don't know why that is, but there's just a power that music has over you that can be very specific to your time period, whatever that might be. I loved the sets in this movie. It was great. They moved between these various houses, and all of these scenes kind of have these home invasion feels to it, and then they go to schools and public areas that are supposed to be safe, and sometimes they are, and then it all kind of comes to like a head or a culmination, if you will, in the big finale, where the vibe and energy is constantly changing and shifting. And one minute it feels safe and laissez-faire, and the next minute it's foreboding, and then it's violent, and it's all over the place. And I don't like horror movies, but I don't know. I enjoyed this movie. I I I can't explain why. I think some of it is because it has so much cinema commentary in this movie. I like the idea of discussing the rules. Movies, and especially specific genres like horror, have these kinds of things going for them. I don't know, I felt like Sydney Prescott is us. If you can't watch this and see yourself in Sydney, I don't think you can enjoy this movie. She's supposed to kind of feel like we're supposed to feel some kind of connection to her. And she's played by Nev Campbell, and she does such a great job. The fear, the hesitation, the intelligence, the confusion, the desire, the growth, everything that she conveys as an actress is just so next level. I happen to be a Courtney Cox fan, friends all the way. And but she's the perfect journalist. She's crossing boundaries to try to get the story, and she's after it no matter what. David Arquette does a great job with Dewey, and he is the perfect blend of hero and bumbling small town cop. And Rose McGowan, if you don't have a friend like her in your life, you need one. She is so loyal to Sydney and so supportive. I thought Matthew Lillard and Skeet Ulrich did a really great job in their thing. I did not pick on the gay lovers thing who are sociopathic killers, but Kevin Williamson has done an interview saying that he actually was thinking of these sociopaths that were supposedly gay who had done some murders way back in the day. So it was definitely It was intentional, but I didn't pick up on that. I just thought they were two friends who had kind of lost their grip on reality. I don't think I'd recast anyone in this. I thought everyone did a really, really great job. My favorite moments. Ooh, tough pick. Probably Randy talking about the rules when he has his flip out in the video rental store, which was that a Blockbuster video? No. Wait, it might have been. I don't know. I don't remember seeing the logo, but 90s peeps, if it didn't have a Blockbuster logo, we thought it was a Blockbuster video, right? And then, oh, the other thing that I loved is when Rose McGowan saying, "Oh, please don't kill me, Mr. Ghostface. I want to be in the sequel." Uh, that was, I'm like, that's the sort of thing I would say if I was being terrorized by a psycho killer. Oh, also, Sydney punching Gail. That was a great moment. I'm sorry, Monica. I would never hit you in an episode of Friends, but I'm sorry, Gail deserved it. I really do believe that. There were so many pop culture references in this, a lot of references to horror movies, and the whole scary movie parodies are kind of based off of the Scream movies. They talk about Jamie Lee Curtis and Halloween, and it's, a quintessential like teen movie where teens are out there living crazy lives. Also, and is it like super easy for teenagers to get alcohol? Because it was never easy for me, but these kids don't seem to have any trouble. I loved that Gail's camera giving information on a 30-second delay is next to a VHS of Clerks. Did anyone else catch that? I'm not a big Clerks fan, but I loved seeing the little VHS next to it. I was like, very well done. Do you think Randy would like the movie Clerks? I'd be curious to get his take on it. He's kind of a movie aficionado. And when Gail's cameraman Kenny died, did anyone else say, "Oh my god, they killed Kenny"? No, just me? Alright, well, there you go. In terms of who needs therapy the most, Stu and Billy. Definitely. I, and they are completely, completely unhinged. I do think that some lives could have been saved if somebody had owned a dog. A dog could have barked, given people a heads up, maybe bought someone a few extra seconds to run away. But no, there were no dogs in this movie saving anyone's lives. There was so much alcohol and so much violence in this movie. There was sex, and I don't know. It was deemed the way to not die in horror movies at that time was to not have sex. I don't recall there being any drugs though. Did anyone see any drugs in this? Because I don't. The movie's not family friendly. I mean, unless you want to mess your kid up. Or you think your kid is going to be a serial killer and you want to show them, see, explaining why you killed everyone will lead to the hero or heroine rising up to defeat you. So come on. Don't don't monologue yourself into a corner. That doesn't work well for villains. I love that the use of caller ID increased threefold after this film. We've all gotten very used to caller ID with the fact that we can save numbers on our cell phones and we kind of know who's calling when. But back in those days, sometimes the phone just rang and you didn't know who it was. Could have been your mom, could have been the pizza guy asking for clarifications on where you're located. It could have been a telemarketer, could have been a wrong number. I didn't see this movie in theaters. I actually saw it at a youth lock in. And I remember we all were waiting for the chaperones to fall asleep. And then someone slipped in the VHS. And I was the only one who got scared. Everyone else was like, "This movie's stupid. Why does anyone think this is scary?" And I was like, "Shh, stop talking. It's scary." It was scary for me. I would recommend you see this if you want to see good cinema commentary, you know, seeing the forces of good triumphing over evil and various random scenes that you'll like. Yeah, well, sure, that's true. I see it. It's great. But if you hate ironic horror movies, if you hate gore and violence, if you hate seeing women do incredible things to survive, then, skip this one. For me, Scream was a 6 out of 10. I enjoyed it. Did I think it was the greatest movie ever? No, of course not. But I enjoyed it. Thought it was worth the watch. This is Steven with S4 signing off by saying, scream for me, baby. Scream long, scream hard, and scream loud.